yogis and yoginis. I hope everybody's well and safe. I miss being able to teach people right here, but I wanted to make this video a little more advanced than the last one, or just a little more active. So in doing that, I also want to help us to change to taking verbal cues rather than watching me practice, right? Because that way we can keep ourselves aligned and not be sort of turned and looked at a video. So I'll do some, but mostly I want us to use the verbal cues. So let's get started. High on the sitting bones. I want you to always feel safe, especially if you don't have anyone with you, right? So please be careful, modify anything. Let's take a nice tall seat, high on the sitting bones, reaching up to the crown of the head, which is toward the back of the top of the skull, or the spine would continue if it went all the way up. Inhale, shoulders up toward the ears, tight, tight, tight. Exhale down. Inhale, stretch your fingers in 10 directions. Reach, reach, reach. Exhale down. Wiggle the elbows, scoot the elbows in and back. Move the ribs into the back body, soften the belly, and begin deepening the breath right from the base of the belly, filling the whole torso with air, all the way up to the collarbones. And then slowly releasing all the air out. And then begin that breath cycle again, filling from the bottom up, all the way up. Ribs open up as wide as you can get them. And slowly exhale down. So you could use Dirga Swasam, 3-part breathing here if you wanted to. 3 parts in, 3 parts out. Belly, ribs open, collarbones on the inhale. Exhale, collarbones relax, ribs release, belly button finally comes toward the spine. And you begin that again. Or you could count the length of your inhale, like 1 Om, 2 Om, 3 Om, and so on, and work up toward, or to, doubling the length of the exhale. Or if you have another pranayama practice you'd like to use here, otherwise taking wonderfully slow, deliberate, focused breaths is just right. Keep going. And at the very tip top of your next full inhale, as long as you aren't pregnant, you can retain the breath right at the top. Hold, 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 counting for just a 1 Om. And then exhale all the air out. Good. Return the breath to a relaxed state. Palms together at the heart, thumbs against the chest bone, elbows down, heart wide open. Joining in together for 3 opening Oms. Deep inhale. Releasing our hands, slowly open the eyes, reverse the crossing of your legs so the other leg is on top or in front. High on the sitting bones again. Palms face up alongside the body. Press the hands up overhead. Reach through the fingertips. Inhale. Exhale, send the shoulders softening away from the ears, staying wide open across the heart. Inhale, lift the waist up and out of the hips. Good. Exhale, twist to the right. Left hand behind the back, right hand looking past your shoulder. Right, helping yourself sort of press isometrically and twist open more if you want to. Inhaling arms and hands up. to the other side. Inhaling arms and hands up. Exhale, interlock the hands behind the back, press the palms in, lift the knuckles, lift the heart, lift the jaw, as long as that's okay in your neck. Inhale, exhale, jaw toward the heart. Take a breath here. And then maybe move the feet forward. Soften the heart all the way down. Right, you can move the knuckles around behind you. So, because this video is a little bit more advanced or energetic, I am presuming that you know most of the poses and you know how you need to modify. Otherwise, that first video might be a better choice, right? Because I want you to be safe above all else. Release the hands, roll the shoulders, bring the hands in front, interlock your fingers. Inhale, turn the palms face out. Exhale, round and roll to the back of the sitting bones. Round a little more deeply, belly button in toward the spine, shoulders away from the ears. Tuck the chin in toward the heart. Inhaling arms and hands all the way up. Exhale through the mouth. Coming forward for cat-cow. So the wrists are under the shoulders, knees under the hips, knees, feet, and hands aligned. On an inhale, tilt the tailbone up. Belly comes toward the floor. Finally lift the head. Exhale, tailbone tucks underneath. Rippling through the spine all the way until the chin tucks in. Tailbone initiating in either direction. Try to tilt one vertebra after the last. Right? So you're not following me, you're just following your breath as you go. At the top of your next full inhale, tuck your toes under, soften the bottoms of the feet. Press back to downward facing dog. Slowly sinking into one side, bicycling the legs, sink into the other side. So you want to make sure the heart's reaching back, the low back reaching toward the legs, tailbone lengthening up and back. You want to make sure the neck is soft. And then bend both knees just enough to tilt the tailbone up. Create a little arc in the low spine. Try to keep a little of that tilt. Exhale the heels down. Inhale forward to plank pose. So plank is wonderfully beneficial, but not so much if you have pain in your low back or your feet, so you could always modify, right? Inner elbows are gently turned forward. Bases of the forefingers and thumbs are connected. If you feel okay lifting the right foot, reach the toes behind you. Maybe send the toes out to the side. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale down. Other side. Inhale, lift. Exhale, open. Inhale, extend. Exhale, toes down. Ujjayi breath, if you use that, that's that audible inhale and exhale from a little lower constriction in the throat, right? One more inhale here in plank. Exhale, press back. Inhale, plank again. This time, exhale, knees, chest, chin. Come forward into low cobra. Roll the shoulders up and back. If you want to interlock your hands behind the back, you could open the heart. Maybe one more inhale. Keep the back of the neck long. Maybe lift the feet. Exhale. Hands alongside the low ribs. Tuck your toes under through your knees or plank. Inhale. Exhale back. Down dog. Inhale forward, right knee toward the nose toward the knee. Exhale. Press back, downward dog split. So you're going to open your heart back toward the legs. You're opening as you reach that right heel to the left, tailbone to the right. You can peer under that arm. And then we're going to come into a long lunge. So knee over the ankle. Really important. Send the heart forward, the heel back. right? Maybe you bring your knee down, untuck the toes. If you want Anjaneyasana variation, please be careful of your low back, especially heart open, shoulders away from the ears, right? Tailbone still softening down and forward. Inhale one more time across the heart. Exhale. Plant the hands, tuck your left toes under. Reach the heel back. Plant the left hand inside of the right foot. Reach up to the right fingertips. Expand in every direction. If you want to kind of come into a half bind here, you could do that. If any neck position or gaze doesn't feel right in your neck, don't do it, right? Just let gravity soften it. From here, we're going to windmill up. So if you want to press yourself up on your thigh, you could do that. Shoulder blades in, shoulders down away from the ears. Fingertips out. Reach to the outside of the back foot. Both legs rotating open away from each other. Reverse warrior. Inhale, think more up than back. Exhale, lift the back heel. Windmill all the way down. Come through your chaturanga, knees chest in. Low cobra, dog. And exhale back. Your vinyasa. You could always choose to rest instead during those. I'm just going to tuck my t-shirt into my pants here. Maybe I should have thought of that before we started. And then come forward, left knee in toward the nose, nose toward the knee. Hold, hold, hold. Exhale, press up and back. So you're going to bend the knee, right? Sending the heart back, sending the tailbone still up and back. Peer under that left arm if you want to. I am not mirroring you today, right? So come to the ball of the right foot. Same thing as the other side. Left foot's going to come forward, knee over the ankle. First, just sending the pelvis softening down. Then that right knee comes down on top of the toes. You could just stay here if this is better for your low back, right? You could interlock your hands here or interlock the thumbs, isometrically pulling the thumbs out, heart reaching up, neck long, tailbone, right hip pointer still softening down and forward. One more inhale. Exhale. Press the hands down. Tuck your right toes under. Reach the heel back. And twist open to the left. Okay, and try to expand and fill the room. Half bind if you want to. You can isometrically press to the right with the right hand to open the heart a little bit more. And looking down, we're going to press up, windmill up. Virabhadrasana 2. Left side. Reverse warrior. Inhale. Exhale. Windmill all the way down. Coming through your vinyasa. All on your own there, right? You could always choose to rest instead. Staying in downward dog. Good. Bottom of your next exhale. Bend the knees, look between the hands, lightly jump or step forward. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fold. Heel toe the feet apart. Spread the toes. Try to connect the feet without grasping in the toes. If the hands touch, you could take hold of opposite elbows or yogic toe lock, shoulders away from the ears, hips over the heels. One more breath here. See if you can make a little extra space between the vertebrae all the way to the back of the skull. And then release the hands, bend the knees deeply, lift to a flat back over your bent legs. Inhale. Exhale. Flat and shake the head. Yeah, so now again here. And then we're going to tuck the tailbone under and very, very, very slowly roll up, stacking one vertebra on top of the last, all the way through the front of the head. Good. So from here, we're going to bring our palms together and take a moment to dedicate the rest of our practice to anything that has meaning to you. Anything at all. Make that your dedication, your vow, your wish, even a prayer, maybe for the health of the planet or the people in any country or every country, anything you want it to be. Good. Keeping that dedication in mind, if you'd like to, Tadasana, feet should be for mountain pose. Feet should be within hip distance apart. Spread the toes, spread the feet, connect without grasping. Lift at the arches, and then soften the knees and the hips. We're gonna rotate the upper thighs to open the sitting bones, and then just tilt the tailbone into that space, feeling our Uddiyana Bandha, low core, right, pull in and up, ribs back, shoulder blades in, inner elbows facing forward, hands soft as if floating in water. Soften the jaw, reach up to the back of the neck and the crown of the head. Palms at the heart. Take a breath. Here I am. Remind yourself of that dedication if you want to. Good, Surya Namaskar A. Inhale. Exhale, lengthen and dive down. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, jump or step back. Chaturanga, knees, chest, chin. I'm just going to talk you through it, right? Low cobra, up dog, riding that inhale. Exhale, back, downward dog. Using your ujjayi or slow, steady breath here. Toward the bottom of your next exhale, let your breath guide. If it's slower or faster than mine, let your breath tell you when it's time to move into the next pose or next position. Bottom of the exhale, bend the knees, look between the hands, lightly jump or step forward. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fold. Reverse all the way up. Exhale, Samstihi, palms at the heart. Same thing. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lengthen and dive down. Inhale, prepare. Flat back. Jump or step. Chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. For my students who know that plank, tailbone back, bent knees, scooping through variation into low cobra, up dog. You're welcome to use that one. And back down dog. Breathing here. Bottom of your next exhale as you get there. Bend the knees, look between the hands, lightly jump or step forward. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fold. Reversing all the way up. Exhale, Samstihi. One more time like that. Inhale, open, keep the hips over the heels. Exhaling all the way down. Inhale, prepare, flat back. Jump or step, chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Low cobra or upward dog. Exhale, back, down dog. Breathing here. Good. Exhale, flutter lips if you want to. You can shake the head. In downward dog still. Good. Toward the bottom of your next exhale, bend the knees, look between the hands, lightly jump or step forward. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fold. Reversing all the way up. Exhale, Samstihi, palms at the heart. You could take a breath and remind yourself of that dedication if you want to, right? Up to you. Your practice, your time. Chair pose. Sit to the back of the heels. Tilt the tailbone under. Use your Uddiyana Bandha. Shoulders away from the ears and stay long in the neck. Soften the jaw. Good. One more inhale here. Careful of your knees. Exhale, fold. Inhale, prepare. Jump or step. Chaturanga. Knees, chest, chin. Low cobra, up dog. Exhale, back, down dog. From downward dog, right foot forward, left heel down. Warrior one, pull the right hip crease back. I am not mirroring you, right? So you're on your right side. And you're reaching up. One more breath here. See if you can move the ribs back. Soften in the jaw and send the heart up. One more inhale. And then all the way down. Come through your vinyasa, right, of your choosing. Left foot forward, right heel down. Virabhadrasana 1. Reaching up through the heart. One more inhale. Exhale all the way down. Come through your vinyasa. Just wanted to fix the screen. Right, on your own breath. And then lengthening the tailbone up and back in downward dog, sending the heart back. So in downward dog, you're moving the weight into the lower body, right? You're sort of sending the upper body back. Bottom of the exhale, bend the knees, look between the hands, lightly jump or step forward. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fold. Drop the seat, lift the heart, chair pose. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, samstihi. Same thing with an addition. Chair pose, deep seat. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, jump or step back. Chaturanga or plank tailbone back if you want to do that one. Low cobra, up dog. Ride that whole inhale. Open the heart. Exhale, back. Downward dog. Warrior 1 into warrior 2, right side. So right foot forward, left heel down. Open the heart up. Exhale. So you're going to open into warrior 2 here on your own. Shoulder blades in, fingertips out. Good. Reverse warrior. Inhale. Exhale. Windmill all the way down. Come through your vinyasa. Make the breath the most important part. Everything is riding on that breath. Left foot forward. Right heel down. Right? Up into your warrior 1. Exhale, open into your warrior 2. Right, wherever you are, reverse warrior. Inhale, lift the waist up and out of the hips. Exhale, windmill all the way down. Come through your vinyasa. Good. From downward dog, bottom of your next exhale, bend the knees. Look between the hands, lightly jump or step forward. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, fold. Drop the seat, lift the heart. Chair pose. Back of the heels, but then if it's okay in your knees and your Achilles tendons, you could lift the heels off the floor. Keep the neck long, maybe even bring the tailbone down and forward. If you have a knee issue, please don't do this, right? You could keep your heels on the floor. And then inhale, lifting up, heels can come down anytime. Exhale, palms at the heart. Take a breath. Good. Deep seat again, chair pose. Right, reaching up here. We're going to twist here. I'll start here. We're going to twist open to the right. So I would come here. You will look more like that. Palms at the heart, looking past the fingertips. Past the shoulder, if that's okay in your neck. If not, look down. Try to even the kneecaps here. And then we're going to reach that left foot back into a long lunge. So look at the floor, right? Bring the weight into that right foot. Left foot goes all the way back. Then from here, if you want to expand the arms or if you want to half bind, full bind, right? Whatever you want to do here. One more breath. Right, so I would be here. And then palms at the heart, maybe look back at your foot. Left foot comes forward. Chair through center. Utkatasana. Inhale. Exhale. Left side. Lock it in if you can. Maybe you can press top hand into bottom hand. Right? And then we're going to look down and send that right foot back. Long lunge. Right? So if you need a hand on the floor, go ahead and keep it on the floor. Any bind, right? Your great yoga adventure. So go on it and have fun. Doesn't matter what happens, how it goes, other than being safe, of course. And looking down, bring that right foot forward. Chair, Utkatasana through center. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, prepare. Flat back, jump or step. Chaturanga or knees chest chin. Low cobra up dog. Inhale. Exhale, back, downward dog. Right into warrior two, right side. So right foot forward, left heel down. Okay, I'll mirror you now just to not confuse you, although maybe now it's confusing, but there we are. Warrior two. Reverse warrior. Inhale. Exhale. Uddita Parshva Konasana, side angle. Send the ribs down, open across the heart. And then half bind or full bind. Like any bind, if you're in a full bind, using a towel or taking hold, you could just work towards straightening that right leg, sending the hip out. You could even, as long as you're being safe, look toward the floor, heel, toe the feet in, and then come to balance on the left foot, right? So then you would come all the way up. You could choose to straighten that leg. You could choose to look past the left shoulder, right? If you're here, then soften the standing knee. We're going to bring it all the way back down. Heel, toe our feet back out. Uddita Parshva Konasana, side angle. One long line of energy from the outside of that left foot, straight through to the fingertips. Reverse warrior, inhale, straighten that right leg, Trikonasana, triangle pose. Shoulders away from the ears, left ribs down, hip out. And you could even do a half bind here. Open the heart that much more. Not so easy to open our hearts right now with everything going on. So maybe we can help ourselves here. Good. So we're going to lift that hand up first. Then left hand, left hip. Bend your right knee. Bring the weight into that right foot. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Rotating that left hip open. You could reach back for your foot. You could, right? You could just stay here in the pose. You could turn your gaze past the left fingertips. You could come through any other variation that you want to, right? Balancing can be fun, softening the standing knee. Whoops, palms together. And we're going to bend that right knee and come back into your warrior two. Reverse warrior. Inhale. Exhale, windmill all the way down. Come through your vinyasa. You can always choose to take a break. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep going so that you can take breaks when you need them. Right? Other side from downward dog. Left foot forward, right heel down. Windmilling into your Virabhadrasana 2. Reverse warrior. Inhale. Exhale. Uddita Parshva Konasana, side angle. Half bind, full bind. So you could think of reaching to the crown of the head on your inhales, sighing the heart open, and here's where you could very slowly and carefully straighten if you want to. Stay here in a bind, or you could heel toe the feet in, bringing the weight this time into the right foot. Left foot's going to come up. Right? Maybe straighten the leg, maybe turn your gaze. And take another breath here. And we're going to slowly bring our way back into side angle. Right? If you want to take a breath to lengthen the arms out when we do this, you could do that on your own. And then reverse warrior. Inhale, straighten that left leg. Trikonasana, triangle pose, right? So you might want to shorten your stance somewhat for triangle, right? As you practice, you figure out where you need to modify and make subtle changes in the practice so that you can find that sukha, that sort of place of balanced energy between effort and surrender. See if you can expand and open up an inch in every direction, right? And then, right, that hand is going to come to the floor. Oh, we did a half bind in Trikonasana if you want to. And then we're going to come forward into our Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Right? It's almost like you're moving toward a two-dimensional plane. None of us should want to be two-dimensional, right? Mentally, physically, emotionally, but whatever adventure you want to go on here, right? And then we're going to soften in that left knee and float back, right? So if you're not floating, it doesn't matter. You can just sort of plop the foot down, however it's going to work in your body. Warrior two. Reverse warrior. Inhale. Exhale. Windmill all the way down. Chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Low cobra, up dog. Exhale, back. Down. Good. We're going to come into pigeon prep on the right side. Ekapada Rajakapotanasana. So that right knee is going to swing to the inside of the right hand. Rotate the left leg. Top of the thigh, top of the foot facing down. So you guys are a little more experienced in the first video. So if you know that you should not come into pigeon, if it's bad for your knee, you could come onto your back and pull the leg in on the inhale, sink the tailbone down on the exhales. That's a good one, right? Otherwise, square the hips, support that right hip with a towel, a pillow, something that you might have if you don't have a block. Inhale. Exhale, forward and down. So once we're here, we want to bring the spotlight of our awareness into that right hip, right? And just send our exhales there. The lower back softens down. The left hip pointer softens down. One or two more breaths. Lifting partway up, we're going to bring the left forearm, remember I'm not mirroring, right? Left forearm and hand under the shoulders. Pull isometrically to the left, reach up to the right fingertips. Just like everything else, if this doesn't feel right, don't do it, right? And then we're going to reach from a half bind. We're going to slide that right hand down toward the floor. You might find your, not left toes, left-legged foot is on the floor. You might find those right toes behind you. One more breath. That's a heart opening in this class, right? Maybe for good reason. Exhale down. Now we're going to come all the way up, right? So you can stay here with your foot on the ground, and you could stay here. You could take hold of your foot in any variation you want. Shoulders down, heart wide open. One more breath. Don't do any variation here if it's not good for your knee or anywhere else. Low back. Good. Release that foot down. Downward dog. You could come through a vinyasa. You could not. You could just bicycle the legs. And then other side. The left knee comes to the inside of the left hand or come onto your back. Other side there. So you really want the top of that right thigh facing down. Top of the right big toe facing down. So to do that, if you need to lift the left hip off the floor to do that, lift the left hip off the floor. Inhale, open your heart up, supporting the left hip if you need it, with anything. A book. Remember books? Maybe you're reading books now that we might have a little extra time on our hands. Might be a good time to read Patanjali's sutras. I like the Satchidananda translation. 1 or 2 more breaths. And then slowly lift up, bring that arm and hand under the shoulders. Pull to the right as you reach up through the left fingertips, looking past them, if that's okay, in your neck. And then we're going to come into that half bind. Slide the hand down. Toes or no toes, doesn't matter. We really want to open the spine and the heart. 1 more breath. Good. Reaching up. Inhale. Exhale. Hands down. This time we can come into any variation, right? If that's working in our bodies, right? It's better to keep the foot down if that's better for your low back especially, right? So you can open the heart here, and this is wonderful, right? We're still opening that hip. Good. Release the foot down if you're too cold. Downward dog, so you could just swing the legs up here or come through a vinyasa or just bicycle the legs here. And then we're going to come to our belly, so come forward into plank. We're going to lower down, maybe stopping into chaturanga for a breath. And exhale down. If you want a towel or washcloth under your face, you might want to pause it and make that work for you if it helps. Sway the hips, head one side to the other, or the other, as long as that's okay in your neck. Deep inhale through the mouth. Releasing the jaw, fingers, toes, gluteals, low back, neck. Turn your head to the opposite side. Same thing, deep inhale through the mouth. So, like we did earlier in our cobra, low cobra, we're going to come into locust pose. Your forehead can touch, heels in line with the middle toes. Rotate the arms so that the palms are pressing into the mat. Lift the shoulders. And then we're going to tuck the chin in, lift the head, lift the heart, maybe lift the feet. So you can keep the hands pressed in. You can energize the arms back, or you could even interlock the hands. So we're thinking of lifting up and back on the inhales, and then opening the heart to the shoulders. On the exhale, you can move the knuckles around behind you, keep the neck long. Good, 1 more inhale, lift up, 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 up. Exhale, roll slowly all the way through your forehead, and then turn your head to the opposite side. Breathing, sway the hips. So another locust, low cobra, any other variation like that is absolutely great if you don't want to come into bow, because bow can be hard on the knees and low back, so please be careful. If you are coming into bow, feel the hip pointers sink down, align your feet, knees, and hips in one line, right? The knees stay in, press the feet back, big toes can come in toward each other, right? And you're still in your bow, I'm coming out of it. Press the feet back if you want to have the same experience of sort of pulling up and back on your inhales, and then sending the heart forward on the exhales. You could do that. You could even roll, get some momentum, roll onto one side, look up toward the ceiling, roll through center to the other side. And then press the feet behind you. Inhale if you still have your feet. Exhale, bring the heels in toward the gluteals, if that's okay in your knees. I want you to be really, really careful here. Maybe you even want to lift the knees, get a quad stretch. That feels so good. Thumbs to the arches of the feet, pressing in, thanking them for all their support. I know, I'm very silly. Good, release the feet down, head to the opposite side, sway the hips. And let's roll onto our backs. Knees up, heels down. 2 rounds of bridge or wheel. So you want the heels directly underneath the knees, hip distance apart. You want to be able to have the ponytails out of the way to make sure your head can be down. And we're going to open up through the heart, through the hips, right? So press into the hands. Once you lift up, interlock your hands behind the back. Roll the shoulders from side to side, bringing the shoulders and elbows deeply in toward each other. Let the heart open up toward the jaw. Tilt the tailbone up. Keep a connection of the big toe mounds. One more inhale. Lift the tailbone. Exhale out of your Setu Bandha. Bridge. We're going to do one more round. Bridge or wheel. So bridge is what we just did. You could do that again. Or wheel. Make sure if you're coming into wheel that this is something that you know you can do safely at home, right? Because this could hurt your neck if you're not feeling okay here. Fingertips facing in toward the shoulders. Press in. Heart is wide open, right? Moving through the shoulders. You could lift one foot. You could inhale, reach up. Exhale, heel. Knee in, foot down. Other side. If you feel like it. Exhale down. Good. One more inhale. Lift the hip pointers, open the heart. Keep your elbows in. Knees over the ankles. Coming out of your wheel, sway the knees side to side. So if you want to get one more in there, some people really like to do 3 rounds of wheel. That's fine. Go for it. And then we'll come into our happy baby. So we're pulling the feet down. You could also hold ankles or thighs. Sway if you want to sway. And then hug the knees in toward the heart. Inhale your forehead up toward your knees. Tight, 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 tight. Exhale. Rolling out. Plant the feet. Good. We're going to come into our spinal twist. So you could do whatever variation makes you happy, but we're going to bring the knees to the left. So first we want to scoot the hips a little to the right, knees up and in, knees to the left, and then turn your gaze past your right shoulder. So that can take many forms, right? If you like to extend the top leg, if you need to make any micro adjustments for yourself, right? For your spine, for your neck. All I ask is that when you come into it, whatever that means for you, you completely let go. 1 or 2 more breaths right here. Good. Slowly bring the knees up, gaze up. Scoot your hips just a little to the left, knees up and in. Knees are going to go down to the right. And then turn the gaze to the left. Right, and then surrender. Let go. Lift the legs back up. Right, take hold under the thighs, rolling front to back along the spine, as long as that feels good in your spine. And then we're going to come and balance in Navasana, boat pose. So for boat, we want to lift out of the low back, press the knees and thighs in, shoulders away from the ears, soften the jaw, reaching up. Good, if you want to separate the legs and bring the palms together, you could do that. You could bring the legs one side, arms the other side, take a breath. Other side, any of those, right? Just use that Mula Bandha pelvic floor. Knees in toward the heart. Inhale. Exhale. Slide the heels straight out in front. Paschimottanasana. Right? So high on the sitting bones. Reach up. Inhale. Exhale. Lengthen out. Flex the feet if the legs are straight. If they aren't, that's fine. Keep the knees soft, especially if it feels too tight. You can sort of tilt, if the legs are straight, tilt those pinky toes sort of back towards your torso. You want to send the low back forward, softening out on your inhales maybe. Exhaling, release. So if you have a block, you could put a block past your feet if you're very flexible here. Right, you could interlock the hands. If you're not, that's fine. Just do what's working for you. 1 or 2 more breaths here. Allowing the breath to sort of bring this gentle lengthening and then softening. All right, I'm going to slowly roll up. Janasirsasana. So I am going to mirror you now. So your right leg is out. Left knee pulls back behind the waist. Or if that's not good for you, pull the knee forward. Right? Heel in. Then we're going to turn our collarbones to center over that extended leg. So you want to keep the opposite sitting bone on the floor if you can. And then we're going to lengthen out. So palms facing in. Or you can cross the wrists, thumbs down, elbows out, if you reach your foot easily enough. Right? Remember, modifications aren't cheating. It's being smart. It's being taking care. It's about taking care of yourself. But if you want to open it up and reach up, maybe peer past the underside, anything you want here. Good. And then lifting up, other side. Heel pulls in, knee back, wherever it's going to feel best. Right, flex the foot if you can. Inhale, and then exhale, lengthen out. Sitting bones, reaching down. You can sort of pull the upper body to the right of the right leg if you want. Left leg, sorry. And same as we did in Paschimottanasana, you want to send that low back forward and then softening down. And then lifting up. So you could do reverse tabletop, wrists under the shoulders, lifting up. You could do Purvottanasana if your knees and low back and anywhere else approve, ankles, right? So if you're coming up into Purvottanasana, you can point through the toes and then lift up into sort of one long line and then let the head come back if that's okay in your neck. Lift the hip pointers and down. Again, that could be reverse tabletop, right? That can be a lot better for people. Good, and then we're going to come down. If you want to come to vinyasa, you could do that. Otherwise, we're going to come into our closing poses. So usually in my classes, closing poses are shoulder stand, right, as an inversion, obviously. Toes overhead, halasana, plow pose. And then knees around the ears, karnabidasana. Rolling out into your matsyasana, fish pose. And then Shavasana. So I'll talk you through that again, right? But if you want to practice crow, if you want to stop the video, practice crow, practice headstand, maybe, especially if I hear from you guys that you want inversion, sort of little mini video workshop, we could do that, or hand balancing, crow, any of those too, right? So just let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to talk you through shoulder stand, etc. So, right, so you're coming up, make sure your ponytails aren't in the way, make sure it's not hurting your neck, right? Shoulder stand should not feel like there's too much pressure in your spine. If you feel any of those things where it doesn't feel right, don't do it, especially when you're home alone, right? You could put your feet, your legs up the wall, you could even come into a gentler shoulder stand here, right? Otherwise, coming into shoulder stand, hands on the back. All 10 fingers facing up if you can, elbows deeply in line with the shoulders if you can. Reaching up to the balls of the feet like you're in high heel shoes, right? As I think Dharma Mitra says, Barbie feet. If you want to come through a variation, maybe exhaling one foot overhead, inhaling that foot back up, other side, exhaling down, inhaling up. Exhale, both feet overhead, toes may or may not touch. It's fine either way. If they do touch, you might want to slide the tops of the toes away or press the heels away, lifting the tailbone, anything that's going to feel really good. And then we're going to sink the knees down. Exhale the knees around the ears, down toward or to the floor, around the head. Again, don't do it if it's hurting your neck. One more breath. Good, and then from Karnapidasana, right, we're going to roll out, come into our fish pose. So fish pose, you want to be up on the elbows, right? You want to be holding the thighs. You're up on your elbows, but your hands aren't on your waist where they normally would be. They're much lower than that, right? And then we're going to lift the heart and let the head come all the way down. Right? You really want your head on the floor, if that's okay, in your neck. Low teeth move up toward the upper teeth. Collarbones release and open through the shoulders. If you like Kapalabhati breath here, or if you have another variation, lifted feet, palms together, anything like that is great. Right? Kapalabhati breath is that forced exhale, natural inhale, sounding something like, you can even put your hand on your low ribs, right, top of your belly. Slow it down. Exhale completely. Inhale all the way. Lift up on your elbows and exhale. Let's prepare for our Shavasana. So, if you have pain in your low back or discomfort or tightness in the low back, you could choose to bring the knees out, Baddha Konasana legs, right? Soles of the feet together. You could just put pillows or a rolled towel underneath your thighs, just below the gluteals, and that just sort of softens that angle in the low back. Palms face up, arms away from the body, scoop the shoulder blades in, tuck the chin in, soften in the jaw, and then go through the body, head to toe, toe to head, checking for holding, tension. All right, so just be gentle with yourself. If you're having trouble focusing, you are not alone, right? So if your Shavasana isn't as, or what you normally want it to be, that's completely okay. Just let it be what it is. And then just try to let your whole mind, body, your whole being just melt in. Your Shavasana be longer, that is great, right? You could just pause the video and stay as long as you want. You could pause it at the beginning so you don't have to pause in the middle of your Shavasana. If you can do it 5 to 7 minutes, even Shavasana, that's wonderful. And then bringing awareness back to the breath, deepening the breath, bringing fresh prana, vital energy into the body, wiggling the fingers and toes. Inhaling, arms overhead, stretching like the first stretch of the morning. Exhaling, knees in toward the heart, rolling onto your right side body. You can use your right arm as a pillow if you want. Keeping that softness. And then slowly coming up to a seated position. Gently bowing forward, offering our deepest gratitude for every inhale and every exhale. And our gratitude for the opportunity and the ability we have to practice. You could remind yourself of that dedication if you want to, that you might have need. And lifting our heads, joining it together for 3 closing Oms. Deep inhale. Gently forward again. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all of creation be filled with peace and joy, love and light. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for your practice. We send our practice out into the universe that needs all the compassion, love in action that we can send out there to ourselves and to others. So thank you. Be well.